Hi, and welcome to the first edition of Goodness Grows Garden Notes. It's a beautiful fall day, and today we're going to be talking about harvesting hibiscus. This is Althea sabdifera, or a red tie hibiscus tea. And we still have some lovely flowers and calyxes left on the plant to harvest for drying to use for tea throughout the year. So the key with harvesting this plant is you want to harvest the calyx, which is this red part here, after the flower has bloomed. So this is a flower that's going out of bloom. This is a blooming flower here. So you want to search the plant to find the parts that have already flowered, like this one here. And you can see the decaying petals inside. So what you do is just hold the stem and pop off the calyx, and you just search the plant and gather all of the spent flowers. Sometimes it's helpful to have a basket or a container to put those in. And then once we've gathered all the flowers, we'll bring them inside for processing. So this is what we'll be working with, and we'll see it inside. Now that we've harvested our flowers, we are going to remove the unwanted parts of the flowers and then prepare them for the drying rack. So what you want to do is look at the calyx. So the part that is actually used for tea is this red, deep red part. So you use your fingers, or you could use a small knife carefully, and you want to remove the petals and then the little seed pod from the inside. Now it's just rained, so the flower inside is a little mushy. It's gotten a little waterlogged. You just remove all that stuff from the inside. You could potentially rinse it off if it's not in good shape. It's a pretty simple technique. What you want is this part. This is the calyx. So we're going to process through this pile of old flowers, and then we're going to take them inside to the drying rack. Hibiscus is very healthy to use as tea. It's very high in vitamin C and other flavonoids. And if you prepare it this way, you can also use it fresh and put hot water right on it. And this, as it is fresh now, but it's also good to dry it. And once it's dried, it will store indefinitely in a cool, dark spot. So then you will have it usable for tea at any time that you want it in the future. Now your fingers will get a little red in this process, a little pink, but it washes off. You can also use gloves if that is of concern to you. Okay, so we're just gonna finish up this pile and we'll see it inside the drying rack. Here are the harvested calyxes, and now we are going to put them on the drying rack. A drying rack is a very useful tool for drying herbs and potentially food items as well. This is a 6-tier mesh zippered rack called the rack, and as you can see, there's already some dried hibiscus on here. If you come closer, you can see the dried calyxes here. And you know that they're dry because they feel crispy and they won't be pliable. They'll be hardened and crispy. And you want to wait until they're completely dry to store them, or otherwise you run the risk of mold. And here's a jar that I've already collected. So you can take the old pieces off the rack once they're ready. And I like to store in jars in a cool spot. So a jar will keep the freshness of the herb. Ball jar works great. And then you want to keep this out of the sun to protect the integrity of the medicine. And then you just take your calyxes and spread them on the rack. You want to leave some space between them so that they will dry and there's a lot of good air circulation. And depending on what time of year it is and the heat you have and so forth, the humidity will determine the amount of time that it takes for them to dry, but you can check them daily or every couple of days to see if they're ready. And just spread them out. Zipper the mesh to keep dust and other particles off. And voila, you're on your way to hibiscus tea. So thanks so much for tuning in to Goodness Grows Garden Notes. Goodness Grows Nursery is located in beautiful Boonville, California. You can come see us almost every day of the week or follow us on Facebook. And until next time, happy gardening.